Yes, yes, yes. Morning, morning, morning. 12th man's back. We've got another Arsenal show with two of my favourites. I'm, of course, your host, Dan Potts. I've got Chris Hudson back with me, and I've got Gunnar Russ in the house. Last night, we're going to talk about the game because I was very, very impressed. And, of course, we've got a massive game on Sunday, which is absolutely huge at the Emirates against one of our old school rivals in Manchester United. The reason I call them old school, I suppose they really are a rival still, really, but not competitively of late, but we will get into that. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe, and you're following OK Jerseys. They're doing a fantastic deal at the moment for us Gooners, which is Dan15, Dan15, the code you need, 15% off of the Bruised Banana kit and the 2006 Arsenal last season at Hybrid Red Currant kit. You can get any name and number on the back, whether it's Rocky or Righty on the Bruised Banana kit, whether it's Burkamp, Henry or Pires on the Red Currant kit. So make sure you go and show them some love at OK Jerseys because they've been good to us. Chris, let me start with you. Last night, watching Arsenal was an absolute pleasure. And I said on my match reaction that I would absolutely love to pay to watch that Arsenal every single week. The kind of record in Europe has been astounding. 7 wins, 7 games, conceded 2 goals, one last night at the San Siro, which is a very difficult place to go, and one against Bayern Munich, which are probably one of the favourites to win the whole competition. We've scored 20 goals, and the Champions League record has been phenomenal. Now, I'm not moaning about the Premier League, Arsenal, because we're 7 points clear. We should be more, in my opinion. But I think watching Arsenal in Europe has been unbelievably good this season, and I've enjoyed pretty much every single game. What did you make of it last night, Chris?
Well, Arsenal and Europe, Dan, the totally is a different animal, isn't it? They look relaxed. Everyone's on it. But the thing is, not just this year, Dan. If you look at Ireland and Europe last year, weren't bad either, So I'll say it's 2 years of some fantastic European performances. And I think our reputation is better in Europe than what it is here. You know that? And you look at the refereeing last night, wonderful. And as I was saying off air, did you notice Saka never got clattered once? Give it into for any Premier League game, he's getting done, isn't he? And the referee go, "I'll play on." So, and you could say, is it easier to win the Champions League? Well, it is the Prem. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's a great question. And before I bring it to Russ, I honestly think right now, everybody outside of England are talking about Arsenal as well.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you saw the Inter Milan, Christian Chivu, is it, the manager? He said, along with Bayern Munich, nobody wants Arsenal right now. Nobody wants to play them. And I think that's the first time manager said that for a long time, Russ, in Europe, because I think Arsenal's European heritage is quite embarrassing as a historic club the size of ours, right? Let's have it right. Let's not beat around the bush. We'll say it how it is. If we won the Champions League, that would change that. But I honestly think every game that I've seen, whether it be Club Brugge or whether it be Atletico Madrid, whether it be Bayern Munich or Inter Milan, I'll come away from that 90 minutes thinking, we're bloody good. And I haven't always done that in the Premier League. Now, I know some people will say, well, it's obvious why, Dan, because they don't all low block us like Burnley do and like Bournemouth do and like Forest. I get that. I totally do get that. But when we are free-flowing and we are attack-minded, we are a very good side to watch. And this is why I keep getting frustrated with the manager, because I think you can clearly play like that. You're choosing not to at times. It's when people say, oh, it was the players. We definitely can play like that because we've done it so many times. 22, 23, we got 8 points clear. Last season before that, we missed out by City by 1 point. We were unbelievable in attack-minded. Passing 6s and 5s and 6s past Burnleys and Palaces and West Hams who all have low blocks against us. We can do that. Last night was another example of coming up against a very good side that are well-respected, that got to a final of this competition last year. And I thought we blew them away. I thought we were so much better than them, Russ.
You could tell from the start of the game, couldn't you, that the first 2 or 3 minutes, we pressed them up so high they couldn't get out. We created a couple of chances before, not chances, but half chances before Jesus scored. You could see they were rattled. They just could not get out. And you know what it is? It is that low block thing. The teams in Europe have got a bit of pride, and they all think they're good. So they are going to come out to play. They're not going to come out and sit 10 behind the ball. until they've got 2-0 up, maybe, then they might sit down, have a breather and get behind the ball and manage the game. That's a bit different to what we see week in, week out. And I think the Premier League's got a massive problem here, because when you see the difference between the two competitions, the quality of the games, I mean, let's be honest, the horseshoe of doom versus the low block is the most boring thing in football you can watch. And when we go to the Emirates, and I'm sitting there watching that for 60 minutes before we put a long ball over the top, because we're worried about getting countered. Let's be honest, if we lose a goal, we're now in deep trouble, because if you're playing a low block, you're in massive trouble. Look at Villa the weekend. Took the game. They're another team that can't really play against the low block. They really struggle against it. Tottenham are another team that struggle against it. In Europe, they seem to do a bit better, especially at home when teams come at them. So, yeah, I think the Premier League, as what's the word I'm looking for, as a selling point for its appeal, is losing its appeal, because every game you watch looks the same. You get one team who camps, one team who plays, and it becomes dull as ditch water. And I think the Premier League got to look at ways of trying to get around this. The coaching is so good defensively that it's really hard to break teams down. The fitness levels are unbelievable in all teams. You can't blow teams away in the 80th minute anymore because they're blowing. They're not blowing anymore. They're running the same as you for 90 minutes, which was always our big advantage back in the day when we won leagues. Every advantage we had's been taken away. So the only thing we've got now is organisation and the ability to score from set pieces, which has worked again last night, which has got us ultimately the winning goal. The Bakewell tart and the cherry on the top at the end with Gyökeres putting the cherry on the top. So, yeah, I think that is a big thing. And I agree with Chris. The refereeing is absolutely levels above. It's embarrassing how bad the refereeing is in the Premier League. I mean, he managed the game brilliant. He didn't have any nonsense. He told them to go away when they were trying to chat back. He wouldn't have it. He wouldn't have no nonsense. And that's what our referees are too pally with the players, I think, a lot of the time, calling them by their first names and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I do agree, actually, with the refereeing. Something I will not disagree with Russ with is maybe question, and there might be an answer that you two can think of, and I'll come to you with this, Chris, before we start going into the performance and individual players. I looked at the league table last night. All 6 of the English clubs could get in the top 8, which proves that although the quality might not quite be there at the moment, maybe it is across Europe, not just in the Premier League, because Tottenham are 14th in this Premier League that everyone says is a really low level. And they're, I think, 7th or 8th place in the Champions League. Manchester City, they've now ahead of. They're in there. Chelsea can get in there if they win tonight, as can Liverpool and as can Newcastle. I mean, I don't think all 6 teams will get into this top 8, but does it kind of show that England right now actually might not be as bad as what we're kind of saying? Because
that's all down to one thing, Dan: money, spending power.
Exactly.
When you see Europe's top clubs, when an English club comes in, they get blown out of the water. Yeah. There's only possibly Real Madrid, Barcelona and Munich, who, when they go in for a player, could give an English club a run of the money, but no one else.
Yeah,
it's all down to money, Dan.
No, I agree with you. Well, look, let's.
But this advantage the English clubs have got could go if the Premier League's product ain't good to watch. So they've got to really, really address this situation. The ball in play in the games is dreadful. I don't know what the stat was last night for the ball in play. The ball in play seemed to be in play a lot last night compared to games we see at the Emirates.
But the thing against that argument, the club has spent the most money, billions, and has still got 115 charges against them, which is still going on and on and on. Got blown out of the water by Bodo Glimt.
Yeah.
So that, you know what I mean?
I mean, I watched that game.
You've got to spend wisely, haven't you? You've got to spend wisely. I mean, that is, you've got to be prudent. You've got to spend wisely. You've got to sell well.
Yeah.
Well, I must admit, I enjoyed watching Arsenal last night, but I did enjoy watching Bodo Glimt as well. That was unbelievable watching Man City trying to play football against them. They're in a bit of a mess at the moment, but that's another story. Look, let's go into some of the individuals last night, Chris. Who stood out for you? Because there's a lot that did for me.
I thought Miles Lewis-Skelly, he had to have a good game. He had a dodgy first half. As the game went on, I thought he settled. And I'll tell you something, people have been giving him a lot of stick lately. But if you're not playing, you can't just, miss 10 games and put him in against Liverpool and want to scratch your head and wonder why he has such a bad game. The more he plays, the better he gets. Who else played well? Obviously, Mosquera. Wow.
What a signing.
I mean, he's just wonderful, isn't he? I just love him. And Jesus up front. And obviously, Gabriel's done well when he come on. I was pleased for him because I've criticised him big time because I don't think he's good enough. But he shoved it up my backside last night, and I hope he continues to do so.
Yeah, look, I thought there were some great individual performances. Let's touch on the ones you've just mentioned. First of all, Miles Lewis-Skelly. The reason I think he's been getting a little bit, not criticism or maybe disrespect from some of the rival fans, is because he's no longer playing for Arsenal. And you're right, Chris, if you don't play for 6-7 games, you're expected to come in and put in a 9 or 10 out of 10. Sometimes that ain't going to happen. And I think his confidence might have been cut a bit when you find yourself out the team and kind of third, fourth choice left back now. Is there a position for me in midfield? Not yet. I think there's a reason why potentially his confidence might be knocked. I thought he was actually very good last night. Mosquera for £12 million got to go down as one of the best signings we've made in a long time. He's coming in and let's not forget how long he's been out, Mosquera. He's been out for months. I don't think we've played football since November. He's been unbelievable, absolutely brilliant last night. I thought he was superb. Saliba was as well alongside him. I think he goes under the radar as well. But Russ, I thought Jesus and Saka were really good last night. I was watching both of them and I was really impressed. Saka's had a lot of criticism this season and I kind of get it with a lack of output, but his corner was brilliant. Obviously, Trossard puts it across. Jesus is there and Jesus with the striker in sick for the first goal. But every time Saka went forward, I thought something was going to happen last night. So I thought our attack looked good because of those two, Russ.
Yeah, and the reason is he ain't being treble teamed, is he? That's the difference. And he is getting a bit of protection from the referee. Going back to Mosquera, I don't know if you probably did notice because he's like plain as the nose of my face, is the fact that he was engaging their centre forward, whether it be Martinez or the other one, Thuram, really high up the pitch. He was right up their jackses all the time. He never gave them a minute's peace. And sometimes I think to myself, you're a bit too tight at times, but he was just driving them mental. He was proper working, and they put a shift in last night just to try and hold the ball. He was really aggressive, and I love that. I love that in the centre half. You won't see that all the time in the Premiership, him coming into midfield and engaging the centre forward like that. But that was a breath of fresh air for me last night. And you say he's not really a left centre half, is he? He's really more of a right centre half, I believe.
Well, I think he can play both, can't he?
That's what's amazing. He's got incredible pace as well. I mean,
just quickly on that, Russ, as well. That point
I think he's got to be one of the signings of the season, ain't he?
I think he's been phenomenal, and I'll tell you quickly why I think he's been great. His price, and this goes to Berta, by the way, whatever it was, 13, 15 million euros. I don't know quite how much it was. It was about that. You got Harry Maguire, who's gone for 80 million before. Gvardiol's gone for in the 70s. You've got players like Fofana. You've got players like De Ligt. You've got Ruben Diaz. Some of these are good players, by the way. Obviously, you've got Laporte of old, Zabani from Bournemouth this season, just gone. Lenny Yoro to Manchester United.
Went to Madrid.
There you go, Howson. Yeah, all these guys that have been spent like 50s, 60s, 70s. And we've rocked up with that and think, we'll just have him as a backup. And I mean, look, if Saliba was to get injured, I don't want him to, neither Gabriel. I wouldn't go, now we've got to play Mosquera. Do you know what I mean? Whereas before, I'd have gone, oh, crap, now we've got to play Holding or Mustafi. Or he's going to come in. I'm happy with what I'm seeing. He's aggressive. If you can do that at a San Siro and you can come and do that at Anfield and you can do what he's done against some of the big sides we've played this season, I've got confidence in the lad.
That all goes back then to acting like a big club and doing the business last summer. That's where it all stems from. We addressed every area of the park we needed to, other than probably left wing. We never really addressed that. But that's what a big club should do. When you're building a project, that's what you should do. Now the project is complete. Now go and win me some silverware.
Facts. I've got to be honest as well, boys. I don't think we've spoken enough about how good Saliba's been this season. I don't know about you two, but I think when people talk so much about what Gabriel's done, which rightly so, by the way, he's been unbelievable. I think if I had my pick of centre halves in the world, I'm picking Saliba right now. I'm sorry, I would 100% pick him. I think he's mustard, Chris. I think he's unbelievably good. I don't think we talk about it. I don't think we've spoken about it enough this season. I think a lot of people will just look at it and go, "Oh, he played well again." Like, I think it's more than that. I think he's not just a typical performance. The guy is calm, composed.
Have you noticed he's getting a little bit confident? He's going a bit further forward, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's doing a bit for the older Arsenal fans. Reminds me a bit of Franz Beckenbauer.
Yeah.
Do you remember he used to get the ball and just stroll through the midfield?
Yeah. The only thing is, Chris, he's a little bit slow releasing the ball sometimes. Sometimes he don't make a decision quick enough when he's passing the ball, when he's coming out, and he gets pressed sometimes a bit quick.
Yeah.
But that's my only criticism of him. His actual defending, one-on-one defending, his positional sense, his heading ability, he's top drawer. He really is.
Yeah, I actually agree with this from LTC saying Saliba and Gabriel have had similar seasons, but because Gabriel scored lots of goals, he's getting spoken about enough. I do actually agree with that, and take nothing away from Gabriel. He's an absolute. I love him. He's a monster. But look, let's touch on the performances up top because Jesus and Gyökeres both scored. Chris, obviously, Jesus got 2. I was very impressed with his performance. He was my player of the match. Gyökeres and Martinelli both come on along with some other subs, and that ball from Martinelli was elite level. And Gyökeres tries to thread it through to Saka. It falls back to him and he shoots and scores. It's his best goal, definitely, that he scored in an Arsenal shirt. And it's given a decision and a bit of a headache for Mikel Arteta for Sunday, which is what we want. Jesus scoring 2 goals probably deserves to start. Gyökeres has got his goal, probably feels he deserves to start. It's a good selection headache for Arteta, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, when you watch Jesus play like that, don't you get filled with a little bit of regret about all the injuries he's had?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Gutted for him.
No, I'm just gutted for him. I'm gutted for us because we never know what difference it would have made. And then, do I play him Sunday or do I play Gyökeres? And I know you're going to laugh. I'm going to stick with Gyökeres. I'm going to play him Sunday up front because I've got a little bit of PTSD. Is that what you call it? Do you remember Jesus last year? Yeah. Was on a fantastic run. And we played Man United at home in the Cup. And that's where he got that injury. Do you remember? Yeah. And he was out for 12 months. And I just think, and I'm looking at Man United, they got that animal at the back. Was it the only one they bought from Ajax?
Oh, Martin.
Yeah. I would keep Gyökeres and possibly bring Jesus on with about 30, 40 minutes to go. That's what I would do personally.
See, I was thinking the other way round. Yeah, I'll do the opposite. Yeah, go on.
I was thinking the other way round, but now you put that in my worm in my head about what happened last year. Yeah.
But the thing, and another thing,
I believe. Now he's had minutes, Jesus, and now he's bagged a couple of goals.
Oh, yeah.
Confidence will be sky high, and I just think he's a better footballer, and his link-up play is better. And a tired Man United defence against Gyökeres, a bit like last night, might give him. And if we're winning the game as well, obviously, hopefully we're winning the game. Gyökeres comes on and puts the cherry on the bakewell again.
What Dan said about Martinelli. Look at the Martinelli who plays in Europe and the Martinelli who plays in the Premier League. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
well, I think it's the same thing in every game. I think every single game in the Champions League.
But I think it's the same thing. It's not because of the quality of the players he's playing against; it's the systems he's playing against. I honestly believe that.
No, I agree. Talking of that, I don't want to put a negative sort of touch on it, but I do have to ask the question, and it's been asked in the chat a few times. didn't we look a little bit more free-flowing and better without Odegaard on the pitch? And I'm not saying it's rubbish and he needs to be dropped and get rid of him and all this stuff, right? Before people start thinking I'm going over the top. But his performances have been painful to watch, if I'm honest. I don't think Eza and Marino were outstanding by any means last night. In fact, I thought they were probably two of the ones that I looked at and thought, yeah, they were okay. But everyone else was pretty much brilliant. But I just felt like Odegaard, I know Eze slows it down a bit, but Odegaard does slow us down a lot, spinning on the ball, passing backwards, dropping deep, picking it up, dropping back to Rice, playing with Rice and Zubimendi. I'm looking at it against Forest thinking, it's 75 minutes here, and I'm seeing Rice, Saliba, Odegaard and Gabriel pass it between themselves. Like, are they happy with 0-0 here? What's going on? Last night, I know it was a little bit more free-flowing because Milan didn't come and stick, 12 men behind the ball, but I still did think that we were much more free-flowing, and I just wondered what your thoughts were about that, because Odegaard, as much as I know he's going to play again, and I know he's probably going to start Gyökeres, like Chris has said at the weekend, but I just felt we were much better without Odegaard and with Jesus, but maybe that's just me.
No, I think you're right, Dan. I mean, I would play Eze Sunday, but I know he won't. That's the answer to that. He'll always go with Odegaard.
Yeah, he will, because it's control. He can control possession a lot better than Marino can. Marino's a little bit slow, isn't he? He's technically good, Marino, but he's not the same technical quality as Odegaard is. And the one thing that Odegaard needs to do is needs to start pulling the trigger when he's got a chance, and he needs to find Saka instantly instead of taking 3 touches and finding him. It's all about speed of play. It's what it's all about. 1 second in a Premier League game is 10 metres. You can get close 10 metres in a second, 1.5 seconds, whatever. If you dwell, go touch, your chance is gone. You've got to pass.
Yeah.
Our method depends on speed of passing, and when we're doing this slow, robotic horseshoe of doom, it's just never going to break a team down. It's too predictable. The old 2 centre backs have got the cigar on. They've got they're laying back with their slippers on. You've got to work your centre halves, and you've got to work your fullbacks, and you've got to get ball in quick. Got to be done. I think we can beat United if we start the way we did last night, really aggressive, and we're not worried about it. We're not frightened about it, because they're not the Man United of old. They've managed to cobble together a few results this year, and they're up there because they've beaten a lot of the lesser teams, if I'm right, where they weren't. I know they've had a few disasters, but they've beaten quite a few decent sides, and they're up there. I think they've beaten Liverpool away.
Yeah, beat Liverpool.
They beat, their away form is probably a bit like Spurs, a bit better away from home than they are at home, because they have to take the game to teams at home.
Where's Havertz and all this?
Good question.
Why is he not getting any minutes?
I see him against Portsmouth, and that's it.
Yeah.
I think he'll just be eased back a little bit. That was a nasty injury as well, weren't it?
I know he had a setback and stuff, but Calafiori, I thought he was supposed to be back. They said he's out for a few weeks. I mean, what's going on with these players? They just seem to just never. Mosquera was long, wasn't it? We didn't know Mosquera was out for that long. Incapie, is he out for 6 weeks or 6 days? I don't know. We don't really get sold.
Mosquera was ankle ligaments, wasn't it? Was it ankle ligaments?
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's 5, 6 weeks.
No one, Calafiori, no one knows what's the matter with him. No. It's a mystery, isn't it?
Well, I saw yesterday we were linked with that Real Madrid centre-back / left-back. It just makes me think we're probably going to go for him this month. He's only 19, but I kind of get why, because people are talking, we don't need another defence. Well, we might do, because if Incapie and Calafiori are going to be seen as left-backs and Miles Lewis-Skelly is going to be seen as a midfielder, it leaves one spot, doesn't it? Gabriel, Saliba and Mosquera, and hopefully this Real Madrid lad who comes in. And then obviously Ben White and Timber at right-backs, because you do need 8. Because our defenders are just dropping like flies this season. I don't know what's happening to them. Muscle injuries are a problem with something that's got to be investigated.
It ain't like we get a left back and a right back
Yeah,
We've got them all fit. We get 2 left backs or 2 right backs go.
yeah,
That is mad. But the load on them fullbacks is obviously massive. The work they have to do in that system is massive, isn't it?
Well, on that quickly, how much better did we look with Timber back at right back? And that's not against Ben White, because I think he's been brilliant, by the way. But him at left back in the last couple of games, I ain't liked it. And I know he can do a job there, but he is so much better at right back, Timber, isn't he?
I don't like Timber at left back. I just no. But the thing is, when you say Timber at right back, not only is he good, I would say he's one of the best right backs in world football. So and then putting him on the other side makes us a little bit weaker, but not greatly. But I mean, Timber. I just love him. You talk about bargains. How much did he cost? 30 million.
I think Timber looks a bit out of water as well. When he first came, he played at left back, didn't he? And he looked all right, but he wasn't being asked to invert. All of a sudden, he's been asked to be in the midfield, and he just looked like a fish out of water to me.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think Timber superb, to be honest. But look, I don't know what it is about Martin Odegaard. Let's just quickly finish on this Odegaard thing, because a lot of people are giving him a lot of stick, and some are saying we look crap with him in the side and we need him out the side and all that. I'll do too much, but when fans get called flip-flops, I've called myself flip-flop with Odegaard, because I didn't really think he was all that when we signed him. He surprised me. He's very good. He's got 15 goals from attacking midfield in 22-23. He's been absolutely phenomenal. Still don't think he's the captain, but that's another podcast. And then you've got the season after that where he was okay, and we missed out against Manchester City. Last season, I thought he was really bad, and he had a couple of injuries. And this season, he's been one of our weakest players, and I don't think he's good enough to get in the first team right now. And I don't know if it's just that's what it is. He's a squad player, not a first player. We're trying to get him in because he's the captain, or if it is just bad form and he will come good and he'll be lifting the trophies at the end in May, hopefully, and no one will care. I don't know what your thoughts are of Odegaard.
Me? Well, Chris.
Go first then. Go Chris first.
Yeah, I'm very flip-flop with Odegaard. Some days I think, he's back to his best, and another day I'm pulling my hair out. So, he's a bit like Marmite, either love him or you hate him, basically. But I'll tell you something, I wouldn't be surprised if he left in the summer.
Go on.
I can see him. How many years he been here now? In 6 years?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the Arsenal got an offer for him, say someone like Barcelona, and they move him on.
We'll do a swap for Dani Olmo.
Yeah, but good one. How many years he been coming to Arsenal? That geezer. No, I can see that happening. It's only my opinion, but I wouldn't be shocked if Arsenal moved him on in the summer.
Well, if someone offers a decent amount of money, I'm accepting it. Let me tell you that, and I'll go and get Morgan Rogers with it, or Sanchez over in the league, or someone like that. Because for me, I don't know that Odegaard is the guy. I think he might be the guy before the guy, but that's just my opinion. What do you think, Russ?
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth, Chris, with the Marmite thing. Some days you think, look at the skill, and listen, his ball manipulation is probably one of the best in the Premier League. He can turn on a sixpence, but sometimes he turns on a sixpence 26 times. That's the trouble. Even I get dizzy watching him. And it's very right. His game is very, very right centric. That's why I do feel for Martinelli at times, because the ball, there's often, as I said before, Saka is double team, treble team. The whole of the opposition defence is slewed over to one side, and sometimes old Martinelli's standing, I'm over here, and the ball's still going into tight spaces where Saka is. And a player with real vision and real technical nous would be spraying that ball left and getting that whole defence shifting over again. His short passing game's brilliant. I don't know about his long passing game. I think that's a bit of a myth. I don't think that really exists. But his ball carrying, his manipulation of the ball, his pressing, his work rate, you can't fault it. He's one of the best. But he just frustrates you because he just takes that little bit too much time. And there's sometimes when you've seen the clips where he's on the shoulder of the defender, he's going one way, going down, stick the ball down the side, and he will not do it. whether that's coaching or whether that's just fear of losing the ball, bit of both maybe. I don't know. But
what's he like when he plays with Haaland at Norway? Obviously, I don't watch Norway.
I don't really watch them.
Yeah, but I wonder.
Some Norwegian fans, Chris, have said the same thing about him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I've spoken to them at the games, we get a few Norwegians, don't we, come over?
Yeah.
Quite a few of them get frustrated with him as well. Yeah.
I was at AFTV for last season, towards the end of the season. They said, Dan, I watch your channel all the time. I said, thanks very much, mate. And they said, we're from Norway. I said, Martin Odegaard. They went, don't talk to me about him. I went, you're not a fan.
With a Cockney accent.
Well, no, not quite like that. I won't try a Norwegian accent.
Pretty.
Yeah, that's it. I said, don't talk to me about him. I said, what don't you like him? No, don't rate him. And they were Norwegian. I thought, oh my God, I've
heard the same thing.
I didn't chat. You had the same thing, Russ. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Exactly the same thing. They just don't fancy him.
Yeah,
a bit the same. They think he over-eggs a pudding. Yeah, just.
But the thing is, do you think? I know we're getting off the subject a little bit. Do you think that's why Ethan might go to Marseille, get 6 months, and then come in and take Odegaard's place next year, possibly?
That's
what I hope. He's a lot more direct player, ain't he? Ethan's a lot more direct. He will take a player on. He won't just try and pass the ball and shield the ball. He will go around the player. He's a lot more direct. I like Ethan a lot.
Yeah, I do.
Guess who's at Marseille? Aubameyang's there, isn't he?
Yeah, I was going to say Aubameyang's there. Obviously, De Zerbi's managing them. I think him and Arteta apparently used to be either play together or be quite close or something, from what I understand. So he's obviously spoken to him. I actually think Ethan, I wouldn't have loaned him out because I think we've got.
No, I wouldn't.
We've got to keep everyone.
I'm a bit worried about loaning him out, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it.
Strength in that position, that little position there. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But I'll say this quick. I think Odegaard is misprofiled a bit. I don't think he is a number 10. He's too deep to be a number 10, isn't he? Yeah. I think he's more of an attacking 8, like Rice played last year. Rice and Zubimendi are now box to box, which is brilliant, by the way. I want that to stay. But last season we had a 6, an 8, and a 10. We've got more of a double pivot this season, but I think he's the old school 8 from last season, Odegaard. He's too deep to be that 10. I think he plays way too deep for it. So I don't know if he's actually got the right position there, but I hope Chris is right.
Have you noticed Eza as well has been picking the ball up from deeper? Have you noticed that? Or was that just me?
He has. No, he has. I've got to be honest, as much as we're questioning Odegaard, I don't think Eze's pulling up trees to get his position back, if I'm honest. I think he's done all right, but he's contributed in a way that I expected him to, like he did at Palace. The amount of Palace fans that said, good player, not consistent, but good player when he wants to be. I kind of got that Eze, haven't we? We've got a player, and then he goes missing again.
He's another one, Dan, who's not been used to playing against low blocks because Palace were the low block team.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like Palace fans saying, he's a bit inconsistent and he's a bit in and out. Well, in that case, he won't be getting in Arteta's team then, will he?
No.
Well, this is the problem.
Courses, ain't it? If it's a game that's a bit open, it's going to be a bit more open than he plays, like a Tottenham, Villa, Bayern.
Man U.
Well, I don't think they're going to come and play. I honestly don't.
No?
I don't. I think they're going to do the same as they did against City. I don't think they're going to come and play expensive football, take it to us. No chance.
Well, let's talk about that because obviously that's the massive game next
on Sunday. I'll be amazed if they do. If Carrick comes and does that, I'll be amazed after what they did the weekend.
I thought they were very, very impressive against Man United. I was very impressed. I know Man City were awful. I get that. But the other team has to be good as well to do what they did. And that could have been 7, 8, not 3 or 4. It could have been 7 or 8. If it weren't for Donnarumma, they got 3 offside goals. And they were unbelievable in front of goal and they needed to be as well. So I don't know what you boys are thinking about this game, but I am inclined to think this might be a banana skin. And I don't want to go down that road because we need to win this game. But I think Manchester United, like Russ, are going to make this very, very hard. And it would not surprise me if we get to the end of the game and it's a 1-1 or maybe even a 2-2. Because I think that this will be a very tricky game now. because it's Man United who are confident. It's Man United who have clearly been better than what they're showing under Amorim. It's Man United that have got Kobe Manu back in midfield, probably one of their better players on his day. Bruno back in the 10, one of their better players on this day. And then Mbumo and Ahmad back from African Cup of Nations. This is not going to be a blitz of a 3-4-0. Now, I would have probably said that a few months ago because they were awful playing the way they were. But I don't know about you, Chris. I think this could be a banana skin at the weekend, bro.
But, Paul Merson, I don't know if you listen to me, sometimes he talks some sense. He always says in the Premier League, it's all about timing when you play certain teams. And unfortunately for us, our timing against Man United is way off. If we was playing Man United about a month ago, I'd have no hesitation sitting there saying, I think we'll win 2 or 3-0. But they've had a week off. Carrick will have another week, getting into them, and I think you're right, Dan. It's going to be a really hard game, and I don't want to, say a banana skin. I still think we'll nick it, but it won't be. I'm not looking forward to a comfortable afternoon. Put it that way.
I think it could be a frustrating afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about flogging Odegaard a minute ago. Just saying, is Bruno Fernandes out of contract at the end of the season?
I think so, but he wants to go to Saudi, doesn't he? I know what you're thinking about.
I really like him. I really like Fernandes as a player. I think he's quality. I really do.
I hate him as a person. I think he's a good player. I can't stand the blood.
Because he plays for another team, you can't stand him. I quite get that. But as a footballer, if I just take my Arsenal glasses off and just look at a footballer, he's quality. He's been carrying that team for years.
Yeah, I do agree. He gets the goals every year, doesn't he, as well?
Yeah.
He does get the goals every year. But
he's not a midfield player. He's a 10. He's a proper 10.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he's a 10. I think he's got 2 years left on his deal, or maybe 1 year left on his deal. I don't know, but I don't think he's free in the summer. But they were thinking about him going to Saudi, weren't they, for a load of money?
Yeah.
But he stayed in the end, and he's obviously their captain. But I hate playing against him. He's all rolling around the floor. He's horrible, isn't he? But obviously, if he played for you, you'd probably love him, like you say, Russ. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, Arsenal Man U games, they're always, it doesn't matter if we're 12th or they're 4th, they're always big matches, aren't they? They're always big games. I'm looking forward to it Sunday.
Yeah.
But we've obviously got to get a result, which is a stupid thing to say, but we have.
Well, I know it's not a stupid thing to say because we are in a title race, so every game is obviously a cup final. But when I look at the scenario of that position, like Russ is saying, that Bruno position, you're kind of hinting at, Russ. I'll put out an even wilder one in the summer. If it ain't Rodgers that people don't want and don't think we can get, I'll go and lump money on Cole Palmer. See what the Chelsea owners do. Go and stick 80 million on Cole Palmer, 90 million. There you go. They've made 40, 50 million profit there. That's what their project is. Go and stick 50 million. Apparently he's unhappy. Go and stick money on him. I mean, I know he's not been injured this season, and he ain't been great. But he's a baller, mate. And imagine him and Saka in the same team. Rice in the same team.
I think I'd rather have Morgan Rodgers there.
Go on then. Go on.
Mainly because Cole Palmer's injury record ain't great.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah. I don't want another player who's spending loads of money on. He's sitting in the treatment table. And Morgan Rodgers, how many more hints do you want off of him that he wants to join us?
I like him. I really like Rodgers. I think he's unreal.
Yeah, to me, he's and Villa, because of their PSR problems, you can go in and get him.
I think he's a wonderful talent as well. And you know what?
He's really aggressive, dynamic, fast.
Yeah. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
And a good headache for Thomas Tuchel. How's he supposed to pick an attacking midfield option in England with all them? Rodgers and Saka, Palmer, Bellingham, is Foden. It's very hard, isn't it, for him to know what to do. So look, it's going to be a good chance for England in the World Cup, but that's another show. But look, obviously this Man United game is massive and it's key. But the reason I will say that I do think Arsenal should have a chance and will have a chance still is because of Rice and Zubimendi. Because if you can dominate a midfield in any game, I've always got you a favourites to win it. And I know that we've just said Bruno and Mainu are very, very good, but they have got a weakness in there still with their age. Casemiro will play, or Ugarte if he plays. And I think Rice and Zubimendi have been unbelievable this season for Arsenal. I really do. I think the signing of Zubimendi, we said Mosquera might be the best. I think Zubimendi, if I'm honest, he has really impressed me for the tempo of the game. I honestly did not watch him enough. And I know why, because I watched La Liga, but I didn't watch him enough to know what he was. I thought he was going to come in like Thomas Partey, sit at the base and just dictate. But he does much more than that. He's energetic. He's up and down. He's in the box. He's shooting. He's scoring. He's 1-2-ing. He's going forward. He does what Rice does basically now, and he's definitely improved.
And aerially, he's phenomenal.
Unbelievable. And he ain't that tall, is he?
He's unreal.
Yeah.
Basically, basically all round, he's an all round fantastic footballer, isn't he? Basically, that's the bottom line.
Yeah, and what I like about him as well, Chris, he plays with a smile on his face as well.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I say about that spring thing. I sit quite low down, row 4 now, where I am, and a few times he's gone up for balls with a lot taller players, and it is remarkable the height he's getting from a standing start. He's just incredible. I love him to bits. I think he's brilliant.
He's class.
Yeah.
End of.
Yeah.
No, he is. And look, I always knew Declan Rice was a mustard footballer, but my God, how good's he been because of the signing of Zubimendi this season? You know, I don't think that's spoken about enough. I know people talk about how good Rice is from dead ball situations and corners and set pieces, but there's more about his game than that I love. And he's allowed Rice to do what he wants because Zubimendi is. I like Thomas Partey, by the way. I thought he was excellent for Arsenal. But this player has taken us to another level. And I don't know if he's defensively as good at times. I think, there's been times where he's been, going to make mistakes. But I think he's better than Partey in terms of what we need.
Yeah.
I really do. I think he's taken our football to another level. And that's why I think we've got a chance against United, because I think we'll dominate that midfield and I think we'll get that kind of shame. But the only thing I will question again, and I know it sounds mad because we've scored loads of goals this season, is our attack, because there are times our attacking third has let us down, whether it be missed chances or not created enough. If we've got Odegaard back in, obviously, I imagine it'll be Saka, Trossard and Gyökeres. That hasn't always worked, Saka, Gyökeres and Trossard. So, look, we have got some weapons from the bench, Chris. Martinelli, Madueke, Jesus we've mentioned. You've mentioned Havertz and where he might be. Eze is obviously another one that can come on. Marino. This is a strong squad. So I'm expecting Arteta to change it if it ain't working by sort of 55, 60 minutes at the weekend.
Do you think we really miss Calafiori? Because I do.
Yeah, we do. And I never thought I'd say that because I weren't sure of him last year, but I think he's been our most improved player by a long distance.
Yeah.
And not just defending, attacking as well.
Yeah, that left-hand side don't look the same without him.
No.
Well,
I think
his movement and he's overlapping, he's underlapping. It just brings another dimension to us. It opens that side of the pitch up more, definitely.
Yeah, we need him back, but when he's back, who knows?
Yeah, look, I think the left-hand side has been an issue for the last few seasons. And if I'm honest, this is the only season so far where I'd say it's been as good as our right-hand side. I really do. Like, when it's fully fit, I think Calafiori, Declan Rice, and whether it be Trossard or Martinelli, I think they've all had good seasons. And this season, it's been quite lopsided previously. I don't think it has this season. I really don't. I think it's been very, very competitive, both sides. And I think, saying you've said, Russ, before to me when we've gone to games together, switch it round. Like, play Noni Madueke left, then have him come back on the right, Saka go on the left, Martinelli go on the right. We still don't really see that as much, do we? Do you know what I mean?
No, it was a thing you used to see with the old Man United teams back in the day, weren't it? When I think it was Kanchelskis and Giggs, they used to swap over, and they do it in a move. They would just cross over, and you'd see defenders like confused. They didn't know where to go. And it's just a simple tactic I think we could employ. We've done it a couple of times, and we've got goals off it instantly. I think there was a game against Leicester a couple of years ago when we were like just bashing against a brick wall, and I'm just screaming, change him over, put him on the other side, do something different. They did it, and we scored. And it's just we don't see that enough. It's too rigid sometimes. Not just our team. I think a lot of teams are too rigid like that.
Yeah, Chris, what's your team going to be on Sunday?
Well, obvious goalkeeper, Timber. I'm going to go with Miles, Saliba, Gabriel, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, not Trossard, Zubimendi, and I'm going to go with Gabriel up front.
Okay, Russ.
Same, but I'm going to go with Jesus up front to start with. And depending on who's fit, MLS. Listen, MLS was good last year when he had that run of games. I quite get that, but he hasn't had that run of games. It just worries me a little bit. He tends to want to invert a lot, and it tends to leave a big gap down that side. And I'm a bit worried about that gap. But yeah, it probably will have to be that. It will probably have to be what Chris said, but I would change. And Trossard not nowhere near starting. I prefer him as a super sub.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, that one, because I think this season, I was always with you. I think this season he's probably proven that he can start because he's been fantastic for us this season. He's probably been one of our best attackers.
He did. But, he did have a little purple patch where he was brilliant, but it's like all players, isn't it? He in form, and all of a sudden the doubt's creeping a little bit, or tiredness, and he just don't look the same.
I think Martinelli,
was probably one of the ones you give a 5 out of 10 to, whereas a lot of the others.
Yeah, I thought he was all right. Yeah, he was all right last night, Trossard. But I think Martinelli, I think it's a bit harsh, really, because he's done really well in the Champions League. He scored a hat-trick against Portsmouth, and he didn't get a start after that. I think, bloody hell, that's a bit harsh, really, isn't it? You know what I mean? So,
but it's what we've been calling for years. It's a massive squad and rotation and competition. That's what we've been calling for, isn't it?
Yeah, no, you can't moan, that's for sure. I don't know what to do about this left-back scenario, if I'm honest, because I think he'll go White and Timber again, because I think Lewis-Skelly's been cooked by most of the wingers, and we've got another one coming up against us in Brian and Bumo, or Ahmad, or both. So I don't know if that's going to be the right option for him, Miles Lewis-Skelly. And I'm not saying I ain't got no confidence in him anymore. I just feel like he needs confidence in himself. And he's always floating around in midfield, leaving that space behind. I think that might be a bad one going for him. But look, either or is going to be a problem because left back's an issue for us right now. I'd probably play Eze, but I think he'll go with Odegaard. And I'd probably play Jesus, but I think he'll go with Gyökeres. I'm with you. I'd probably play Martinelli, but I think we'll go with Trossard. So I do think it's hard to, but we're in a good position where we've got a good squad to choose from.
But then next week we can play a youth team, can't we? In that game, Kairat.
Kairat.
And then we'll be sitting there talking about we got another what I'll call our game up, Leeds away.
Oh yeah, that's tough.
But I know we were not there yet, but that's a tough game, mate.
No, look, when we talk about that next week, I'll tell you why I think that's a tough game because, for everyone, not just for Arsenal. Them at Ellen Road, mate. That's a tough place to go, man. What Leeds team it is, but I do think with Man United, there's the only kind of question marks there. And what I will say, actually, I suppose, is we're like, well, what should we play? Who should we play? Sometimes it's the team you finish with that win you the game, not the team you start with. So that's the good thing about having this squad is if it is ending with Marino or Eze, or we are ending with Martinelli or Madueke, or we're ending with Jesus, it might not be a bad thing because that's sometimes how you win games. They come on to impact. So I think that could be a really important sort of move for Arteta in terms of his subs. And I think he's got a bit better, Russ, actually, Arteta use of his subs. I think it's because he trusts these players now. I don't think he trusted Reece Nelson and Vieira and Lokonga and all that, did he? Do you know what I mean?
Still learning, isn't he? He's still learning.
Well,
it was always a thing, wasn't it? When they appointed him, he was learning on the job. He's still a young manager.
Yeah. Can I just say that I think Arteta has been at the Arsenal now 6 years, and I was reading in the Athletic he won't be here for 10. So I think he'll be here for another 2 years. They'll take him up to 8. And I think we've got to make the best of him because whatever your opinion of him is, I'll tell you now, if God hope this don't happen, he was to leave the Arsenal, I was saying nearly every top club in Europe would want him.
Yeah.
I think he'll go. But I don't think it'll be yet. I'm with you, Chris. I think he'll and I think he knows that he can win stuff. I think he will win stuff here. If this season, I've had my doubts. I've got my question marks. I think this year's the year. It has to be. We can't not win this year. He's got to win something this year. And then he'll be
Well,
able to say, I can win now, you know.
I
So,
had a rumour before we got Emery that they really wanted Arteta.
yeah, they
then.
did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely did. And Unai
Yeah,
Emery came in and they had the
Pep
experience.
Guardiola always said that if Arsenal came knocking, Arsenal's his club. I think that's what a lot of people don't get. Arsenal's his club, and they come out with all this stuff about him being a crap player for us and being a journeyman footballer and all this. But that makes no difference to me. You know.
So if
You
you
don't
look,
have to be a quality footballer, though, do you? Look at some of the best managers were never quality footballers.
Yeah.
but if you look at the
he was a good footballer. He was a good
He was
footballer. He
all
came
right.
out of Barcelona Academy, for God's sake. He wasn't crap, was he?
Agree.
But Barcelona job could be up for grabs. Madrid job is a lot of jobs, you know, and they're all going to be sniffing around him. So I'm just saying, we got to make the best of him.
Yeah.
Well,
I think he has got to win something this year, though, because I think the clamour will get deafening. I think the
if we
clamour
don't
will
win
get
something
deafening.
this year, it'll be horrendous if we don't win something.
Well, it'll be horrendous for everyone, not just him. It'll be horrendous for the players. It'll be horrendous for us.
Yeah,
I agree. It'll be awful. But
I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, I don't want to think about it. Let's end on a positive because we are 7 points clear. And as much as I got a bit deflated at the weekend because I just felt like it was another opportunity missed to get one hand on the trophy, and I think we've had 3 of them now. By the way, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Forest. We ain't beaten any of them. It's not like we ain't beaten Real Madrid, PSG, and Barca, is it? 3 teams we should have beaten, and we drew to all 3 of them. That's poor, really, in my opinion. But particularly one of them had 10 men. The other one, everyone's smashing to bits in Liverpool. And Forest, I know it's difficult playing that low block, but everyone's beating them. Everton, everyone's beating them.
Can I just say one thing on that? Manchester City have had 4 or 5 goes at closing the gap and blown it and bottled it.
So that is the only caveat. That's the only good thing about it, is that this ain't the same City. And I know it's the same. It's not the same Arsenal either, because I don't think it is the same Arsenal. But Manchester City, it's kind of where I was going with the question, really. If that I know they talk about great white sharks and all that kind of stuff, and I kept sort of, maybe I could get egg on my face when I say this again, and maybe I will when I did say it before, but I said I don't mind if a great white shark comes and gets you because it's a great white shark, but don't let a reef shark eat you, because that's what Man City are. If we let a reef shark eat us, it's say it's gone wrong with Arsenal.
They're like old sharks where their false teeth fell out.
That's what I mean, right? So. How confident are we right now that we're going to win? Let's just concentrate on the Premier League first, and I'll ask you about the other trophies to close. What are we saying, Chris, at the moment? 7 points clear, looking like the best team. It's got to be this year, isn't it? I mean,
I think all of us, my Arsenal fans, because of what's happened in the past, I think if we're 10 points clear, we're nervous. Anyway, it's true, because what's happened in the past is always up there. So if it's up there with me, you, and all the other, it must be up there with the players. So I'm confident. Be very careful what I say here. Am I confident that we will win the league? I'll say yes. Well,
I'm with you. I'm confident that we'll win the league, but I can't get my chest out and say it's done.
Not yet.
I would have said that if we would have gone 9 points clear. Honestly, I would have. Russ, where are you at right now?
If we were 13 points clear, I'll be confident now. Because, as Chris said, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, I'd have to go and bury my head at the bottom of a very large wood pile for the whole of the summer if we blew this one.
Yeah, no. I'm with you, mate. I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. It's got to be.
But the thing is that the Emirates is a very nervy ground, isn't it? We're all very nervous, aren't we? Let's face it.
Yeah,
Every league game, I'm very nervous. But the Champions League, I went to Chelsea the other week, and I just strolled over there. I didn't have a bother on me, you know.
I think being nervous is better than being cocky, though, Chris. I think.
Being
some of our fan mates get a little bit over the top, a little bit too cocky. We're going to stuff this team.
I hate that. Yeah, it's just crap. Yeah.
That'll happen again on Sunday. 4-0 Arsenal.
No.
You'll get that.
You'll get 1-0 now. I'll tell you that now.
3 points, mate. Just give me 3 points. Yeah, that's what I said against Forest. Everyone's saying, we'll get that 3-0, 4-0. I don't give a damn if it's 1-0 off of Jokeris backside, mate. Just give me 3
When
points.
have we ever beaten a Sean Dyche other than an end of season game against Burnley? 4-0.
Never.
No.
No.
We don't. We don't, mate. We don't. Look, that's the Premier League, 7 points clear. We're in great position in the other competitions as well. Does anyone feel a bit greedy, or are we not going there yet, boys? What are we saying, Chris?
I'm not going there yet. We're in a good position against Chelsea, but we should be in a better position against Chelsea than what we are. Mm-hmm. So I'm not getting cocky about that. The FA Cup, we got Wigan at home. Lucky to draw. That could take care of itself. But I'll tell you what, I don't want to sort of get to March and April when we're playing the FA Cup semi-final. And in the end, do you remember that when the Wenger year we played... we got to the FA Cup semi-final against Man United and lost.
Yeah.
And then the midweek we played Chelsea.
Lost.
And they knocked us out of the Champions League. And Wenger, do you remember what Wenger said? If he could have his time all over again, he would have got knocked out of the cup early.
Yeah.
So all this talk about all this talk about quadruples is rubbish. I bite your hand off for the league. I pray for the Champions League. And anything else is a bonus.
Yeah, yeah.
Well said, mate. Honestly, well said.
I'd like to win that League Cup to get that monkey off our back, and then whatever come after that, it could be either or, any of them.
Yeah.
Do you know what, boys? That's why I invite you both on, see, because you're both talking sense. Chris said it absolutely perfectly, and Russ said exactly what I was going to say, which is I want the Carabao Cup to get the winning mentality, keep that momentum going, and win something else again in May. Whether it's the league or whether it's the league and something else, we do a bloody madness. I think we need to win that Carabao Cup to give us that kind of winning momentum, because people will laugh at it and go, it's the one you don't really want. Well, one, I do want it, and two, it's the first thing you win. So if you do that in March and you start lifting trophies, it feels good, and you think, tell you what, I fancy doing this again in May, boys. This has been bloody good. And you've got a great chance of winning it again in May as well.
I think there is a case now that the competition is a bridge too far for a lot of the clubs that are in the Champions League. And perhaps it could get to the stage where Champions League clubs aren't in it.
Yeah, I agree. Because
there's too many fixtures. There's too many fixtures. And when you're in it, you've got to try and win it, because that's sport, isn't it? You've got to try. But or perhaps just say the League Cup is for the lower half of the Premiership and the rest of the league. Give them a chance winning silverware. I don't know. It just seems... once this Champions League was extended to all these teams and 6 group games going to 8 group games, and then you could possibly be playing 10 group games because you're playing a playoff. That's just madness. You can't. Where are you supposed to fit all this in? I know it's money, but the players, you're going to end up with players conking out on the pitch.
See how much money Arsenal have earned up to last night. 93 million euros.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. I'll be honest. I agree with you about the fixtures. If that's what you're going to do and you want to play that many games, then you need to get rid of the Nations League and some of these crap friendlies.
Well said there.
Why are we doing that? Why does anyone want to sit down on a Tuesday night with their slippers on and their cup of tea? Oh, England are playing in the Nations. Look, I couldn't give a toss. I really can't give a damn about that, you know? Or, England have got Albania, or England have got Latvia in the friendly. I can't get back for that. I'd rather put EastEnders on, I think. Honestly, I couldn't give a damn about that crap. I just care about the summer tournaments for England. Why are we playing the Nations League and all these pointless friendlies? We got you use your friendlies for England when we play the qualifying games. That should be classed as the friendlies. When we're playing Liechtenstein or whatever they're called.
Well said, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying that Malta. They're the ones we should be doing. It's stupid.
I'm passionate about this one, about the fact that international organisations like FIFA and UEFA call up your players, or your associations call up your players to play in their competitions, and our players are getting injured in these competitions because they're being overplayed, and yet we're paying all their wages. It's something not right here. Something not right here.
And
where's all that money going that FIFA and UEFA are making? They're making an absolute king's ransom to run these competitions. Where's all that money going? It's not going to grassroots football, because it ain't.
And the biggest example, Russell, of an Arsenal player getting injured playing in a nothing game And we've been talking about him. And I could say he's not been the same player since as Odegaard when he played for Norway. Do you remember that last year?
Yeah.
And a nothing game.
Yeah.
Or Gabriel against Brazil the other month.
Don't start me off on that one, Dan. I had a right arse about that.
They're not their assets. They're our assets. We pay for them, and we should have final say about these competitions. There should be a European Cup once every 4 years, a World Cup every 4 years, and that's it. Finish.
Facts.
That is it.
I don't know when Gareth Southgate...
The qualification games as well, they should be... All the top nations they want the top nations there anyway because of the TV money. So all the top nations go automatically to the final. Right. They can play a couple of friendlies. All these other teams, you know who they are, Liechtenstein, Andorra, Faroe Islands, they play off to go there. It's simple, isn't it?
I agree with you. I said that we should get a buy into the final or whatever it is, and then all the other players qualify. They should all qualify. I totally agree. And it don't help when Gareth Southgate and Thomas Tuchel don't give Saka and Rice anything but 90 minutes in every single England game. I can't stand that. It does my head in. That does. Like, go and pick Adam Wharton. He's doing well in a friendly. Why are you playing Rice? Like, come on, man. Friendly should be about experimenting.
Nations Leagues, Nations Cups. It's too much, too far.
No, it is, mate. And it ain't just Arsenal but players, by the way, mate. Everyone's moaning about this from every club. City, Chelsea, everyone's moaning about it, and just Arsenal players that are getting.
And the other thing is the African Cup of Nations in the middle of our football season. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, this is ridiculous. This is an issue, and it always kind of has been, to be honest. But now it's just gone too much, in my opinion. Too much. But look, lads, we'll come to a close. Let's get a prediction for the weekend, because I won't speak to you until next week now for Man United. I know it's a bit early on a Wednesday, but we might as well go for it. What are you saying, Russ?
1-0 to the Arsenal, hopefully.
Okay, I like that. We'll take that. Chris?
2-1.
Okay. Fair play. I'm with Chris. I'm going to go 2-1 to the Arsenal. I think he'll nick it.
As long as it's one, they're one in the 9th minute of injury time with 1 second left.
Yeah. We won't have to sit there for 15 minutes hanging on. I hate them. They're the worst 10, 15 minutes of your life, them, aren't they? Hanging on to games like that. But there we go. Listen, make sure you're doing me a favour, people. Make sure you hit like and you've hit subscribe. We're trying to get up to 60K, which is our next target. So if you could help us with that, that would be amazing. If you're listening on audio, welcome. Big up to all of you guys. You can listen now on audio on all platforms there, Spotify, Amazon Music, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you're showing OK Jerseys some love, okjerseys.com. Use the code DAN15, DAN15 for 15% off on the Arsenal Red Current kit of 2006 last year at Highbury. You can get anyone on the back of it as well. And, of course, the Bruised Banana kit, which is the most iconic away kit. You can get Righty or Rocky or anyone you want on the back of that as well. So go and show them some love. We're going to send you over to Shane, who I think might still be live, hopefully. So go and show him some love. Russ, been a pleasure, mate. Have you enjoyed that?
Always pleasure talking to you and Chris. Always top gooners.
Thank you, mate. No, it's a pleasure to have you. Chris, likewise, mate. Thanks for coming on, bruv.
Yeah,
again.
I enjoyed that. It's nice, that was.
Good stuff. I'm glad. Well, we're doing that weekly now. Me, Chris, and Russ. And, every Wednesday morning you'll see us. So we'll see you soon, people. I'll be back tomorrow. Take it easy. We're out of here.
See you later.
Everyone up the gunners.
See you later.